hey, we want to be the easiest bank for a fintech to work with. And so with Brexit and all the uncertainty here, we think that this could be a really a good opportunity for us to sort of be on the leading edge of, hey, if you're a UK-based company startup, you want to come to the United States to partner with a bank, we want to talk to you and see if there's a mutual beneficial relationship we can do.
Erik from NBKC, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you.
This is a bit of a first for us because we've had a hell of a lot of fintech companies on the show before, some fresh startup ones in the UK, but obviously some of the more established ones as well. We've never had a US bank on the show before.
Well, I've never been on a show like this before, so it's first for me as well.
All right,
yes,
first all round today.
First for all of us.
For the audience, and there's a lot of fintech founders who do watch the show. What do you do, or what basically the spiel? What's it all about?
Yeah, so my name's Erik Garretson. I'm the Chief Financial Officer and FinTech Strategy Leader for NBKC Bank. Notice I want to talk about the FinTech Strategy Leader. That's kind of much more exciting than CFO role, right? But we are a community bank. Community bank, I don't know if it's a term here in the UK, but more of a family-owned bank is kind of how I would describe it.
Okay.
In the Midwest, obviously in the States. And we're really doing a lot of things with FinTech and super excited to be here in the UK and possibly see if there's something we can do here.
The perception, right, maybe it's right or wrong, but the perception in amongst London fintech founders is that the States is it a bit behind where the UK is as regards neobanks, as you said before we started filming, or the modern online bank. Mm-hmm. Is that the case? Is it much harder to get traction in the US as a fintech?
I think it absolutely is, and I think it really is kind of related to our banking laws. And so a lot of the issues that we have over there is you have to partner with a bank. Now, to me, I think that's a great thing because I think there's a lot of partnerships that can line up with that. Banks are obviously highly regulated, and so we are really good at compliance. And so I think that's the other thing that we offer over there. Whereas, here in the UK, I think it's much easier just for fintech to just start holding deposits, as an example.
Yeah, of course. Recently in New York, the subway just started getting contactless. Did I see that on Twitter?
You may know more. You may scoop me. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. I thought I saw that. Someone going finally or something like that. Some UK fintech guys like finally they have it in the underground.
Well, I noticed in general our payment systems are way behind.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been traveling all over the world.
Swipe and sign and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, using contactless, using my phone, and it's just not prevalent in the States. I mean, the thing that drives me nuts over there is in the States is you give your credit card to a server. And they take it and they run with it.
Yeah.
Versus, you pay here, you just pay it at the table.
Pay at the table. Yeah. It's so much easier. So you're in London obviously because you want to talk to fintech companies that are doing pretty special things that have an interest in going to the States right now or an interest in the future. What's your angle?
Yeah, great question. So, well, first of all, we're a medium-sized bank. I'd call a small to medium-sized bank. And so one of the things I think that we bring to the table is being able to act really quickly. So, we hear stories over and over again that it takes 18 to 24 months for the big banks to strike up a partnership. Well, I mean, as you know, if you're an early stage company, you run out of money.
You might not be there.
Yep, you absolutely might not be. So we're finding that we're able to strike up partnerships within 90 to 120 days. And that's just in the States.
Well, that's a quick turnaround.
And so when you, I don't know if you know that space or not, but there's not a lot of what I call small to medium-sized banks in that space in the U.S. And as far as I know, there's really nobody doing things with UK-based companies. And so that's really what I was excited about to come over here was, hey, we want to be the easiest bank for a fintech to work with. And so with Brexit and all the uncertainty here, we think that this could be a really a good opportunity for us to sort of be on the leading edge of, hey, if you're a UK-based company startup, you want to come to the United States to partner with a bank, we want to talk to you and see if there's a mutual beneficial relationship we can do.
How tough of a time do you think Revolut and Monzo are both expanding? I don't think it's the worst kept secret, but they're both expanding to the States and they have planted teams there. How tough of a time are they going to have in the States?
Well, personally, I think they're going to have a really tough time. I mean, we're already seeing, they've been trying to get a charter. A lot of these neobanks have been trying to get a charter in the States.
And struggling?
They're struggling, a lot of them, and I can't remember which ones, but one I think is retracted and is no longer going to the States. I think one does have the FinTech charter, and it's funny because our impression, we've dealt with the regulators for a very, very long time, obviously being a 20-year-old bank and dealing with regulators frequently. I think that FinTech charter, I think that these founders don't know what they don't know, and these startups that are trying to go over their neobanks, whatever. And I think that the regulations and dealing with the regulators, I think, are going to be extremely difficult for them.
You think they're underestimating what they're in for when they go stateside.
I do, yeah. And I think that's why personally, a bank partnership makes sense. I think you can arrange the partnership so that it's mutually beneficial for both parties, and banks can help with that regulatory aspect. Because it's tough to be regulated, and that's kind of what we do, and that's what we've been accustomed to. So it's just much easier for us, I think, to deal with regulators as a bank versus a fintech company.
Yeah. What are you most excited about? Right? Have you seen any London companies you're looking at going, they're doing pretty cool things, or what area of fintech are you most excited about?
Yeah. Well, as far as the UK base, we've had for the last year, we've had some initial conversations with some fintech companies that need to come over or want to come over the States. I think they were a little earlier stage. I think they're still trying to productize here and sort of get some traction here.
Yeah.
So we really haven't had any, I guess, what I'd call meaningful conversations with any companies. I think let me give you, before I talk about I think I'm excited about. We also have, as a bank, our own accelerator. So we launched our own accelerator last year. We are the only community bank in the U.S. to launch an accelerator.
Right. Okay. Very cool.
So we had our first cohort last year. I'll be frank, we didn't really use a textbook. We didn't really know exactly what we were doing, but we pulled it off. I've got a great managing director that just did a great job on it.
Brilliant.
And so we're now in the process of recruiting for our second cohort. And
that's UK based, or is that based in the US?
It's US. Yeah.
Oh, right,
Great
okay.
question. It's US. We after we did this, we sort of had some conversations with some people here in the UK about launching our own sort of like maybe a feeder to that, so a UK based accelerator. That's down the road. I
think that would be cool, though.
It would be cool. Yeah, right now we need to concentrate on what we're doing in the U.S.
Yeah.
But offer this avenue for companies that want to come to the U.S. And so, actually, I have dinner tomorrow with a founder that we've been talking to here in the U.K. that is wanting to maybe launch a product in the U.S. So we'll see how that goes. She's a founder and could be part of our accelerator this next year.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. And which ones which area are you most excited about?
Most excited about?
I like the savings one. We always have them on the show, right? The rounding up and the savings and investing is always quite good. Free trade is a really cool one. So what are you looking at?
Well, I don't want to just repeat what you just said, but and for us, I think it really depends on it matters about what our strategy is, and our strategy right now is to get deposits. And so that is probably, when you think of a strategy, that's probably the thing we're the most excited about. Outside of that, I think there's a lot of really cool things in technology.
You mean mortgage deposits or
bank deposits?
Okay,
so
right.
Savings accounts, checking accounts. And so for us, that's kind of really what started our whole venture into the fintech space, was trying to get deposits in a different way. Obviously, we're trying to build our business with our brand, and so we're trying to get consumers and small businesses all over the United States. What we thought about was, hey, is there another way we can complement that growth? And so that was kind of the idea, the impetus behind fintech. And so partnering with these companies, and it's okay if their brand's forward. We're totally fine kind of sitting in the back end and indirectly benefiting from those deposits. So that is what we talk about a lot, and really what we've done over the last 2 years, the results are starting to come in. And so that's, I think, exciting for our board and our ownership group. But I think in general, we meet all kinds of really cool things, cool ideas, AI, all those type of areas.
It's a cool space, isn't it?
Yeah,
And you know what? It's only getting cooler. There's more and more companies coming out. That's excellent. Are you taking any inbound inquiries? If there is someone watching that say, I would love to at least have a conversation about what we could do.
That is what we love to do. Honestly, I've met so many cool founders just from having conversations. Kind of one reason why I'm on here is a guy named John Stamler who was a connector, and we really like talking to people that connect. And so, if somebody has, and there's several different ways, I think, we're interested in meeting founders, we're interested in meeting connectors, venture capital people. So, if they can make those introductions to a bank that can help their portfolio company, obviously that increases the value of those companies and in their investments. So, love the conversations, and if it doesn't work out, we are very quick to say, hey, you know what, there's nothing we can really do together, but maybe we can set you up with somebody else that can
There's nothing
help.
worse than being dragged on. Yeah.
That is one thing, I think that has been, I think really good about us is that, and it's not like a rude thing, but we're just like very candid and just say, hey, it's just not, and founders appreciate that.
Of course.
Because you get strung along you get into the big bank group, and you could be strung along for a year and never really get to the right person to make that decision.
The problem is founders are the most hopeful people in the world. I think they will cling on to that the last second.
Absolutely.
Well, look, thank you so much for coming in, Eric. Really appreciate it. Cheers.
Awesome. Cheers. Thank you for having me.
No worries.